Alright farmers, welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be having a look at corn. So first up, if you're playing with seasons on, we'll take a look at the crop calendar. And we'll see that for corn, which is the fifth one down, you plant in April and May, and then you harvest in October and November. If you're not playing with the seasonal calendar on, it will take 6 months for it to grow. So if you're not doing season calendar, you could potentially get 2 harvests per year. So that all depends on what you're playing on. Obviously, you do you. Right, so next up, we've got our field. So we've got the field here. It's fully prepped. So we've mulched, we've ploughed, we've fertilised, limed, fertilised again, cultivated and removed all the stones. So that's give us 100% fertilised state, all ready for the seed to go in. So next up, you're going to want to go get yourself something to put the seed in the ground with. Right, so for corn, you need to use a planter. So if we go into the shop menu, go down to tools and then into planters, you'll see the corn icon. So it's the first one on the left at the bottom there. So any of those with that icon you can use to plant corn. So you're going to need a planter rather than a seeder. So what I've gone for is this John Deere 1775 NT. I personally like this one the best. But obviously if you've got a budget, because this one's like 234 grand, it's rather expensive, you need to use the one that's within your reach. So that's entirely up to you. So that's what I'm going with. Obviously you're going to need to fill it with seed as well. So if you're going into the shop again, the most cost effective for you is going to be the big bags, which is 800 per 1,000 litres. Unless you're going to go for the multi-fruit selling silo. But if you're going from the shop, that's your best cost effective option for you. So once you've got it all filled up, you're going to want to unfold it. So that's L, B and A if you're on Xbox like me. And that will do the animation. It'll go through the whole thing, put the sides out, whatever it needs on your particular planter. There we are. And then you're going to want to also make sure that you've got the planter on corn. So you do LB again and Y, and it will cycle through the different options. So we'll just make sure we've got it on corn. Then LB and B to lower it down, and LB and X to turn it on. So once you've got it going, just drive through your field. You'll see the change in texture, and you're planting your corn seed. So I'll get this done, I'll go over the whole field and I'll see you at the end. Okay, once you've planted your field, what you're going to want to do, just like all the other crops, you're going to want to get a roller. So if you go into the shop menu again, into tools and then down to rollers, you can use any of the ones in this section. Now I'm going for this Dalbo Power Roll because I just prefer it to the others. But anyone will do, and you'll use this to roll your seed just to get the most out of your ground. So what you do, L, B and A, and it'll unfold like it's doing. So then once it's unfolded, we'll just line it up nicely like so. L, B and B will lower it down, and then you haven't got to turn it on like the seeder or the planter. Once it's down, it's down. So then all you're going to do is just drive through the field. You're going to get a change in texture. It's a little bit easier to see on this one rather than the other seeders that we've already done. So same principle applies with the planter. Just go over the whole field, and then once you're done, I'll see you at the end. Right, so that's the field rolled. Now for me, all we've got to do now is just wait, because I've done all the prep to start with before we seeded or planted, however you want to call it. The only other thing that you may need to take a note of, if you've got it turned on, is weeds. Now I've got it turned off because I don't like them. But if you have got weeds on, when they start coming through, you're going to need to deal with them, otherwise it's going to affect the yield that you get off your field. So you can either come through with a weeder, or you can spray it with herbicide, entirely up to you. But I've got that turned off, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to fast forward and we're going to see a bit of growth. Right, so we're here in October. You can see in the bottom right hand corner we've got growth there, ready to harvest. So I'm going to go jump in my harvester. Right, so I'm at the edge of the field. We're ready to harvest. We're going to need to get some equipment that I've got already. So we're going to go in and we're going to get a harvester. Now you can use any of the ones on here that's got that corn icon with it. So it's the furthest one on the right. Now I've gone for this Fent because that's just my favourite one. Obviously it all depends on the budget because that's quite expensive. So if you want to go for a smaller one, as long as it's got that icon on it, you're good to go. Then to go with your harvester, you're going to need a header, but you're going to need one of the corn headers, not the normal header that we have been using at this point. So corn header, again, anything that's got that icon with it, you'll be able to use to get the corn off the field. So I've paired up me harvester, me Fent, with this Capello Diamant 12, and that's what we're going to go with. So first off, we're going to need to do is unfold the header on this particular one anyway. Some of the corn headers just come as they are, but this one is rather wide, so you're going to need to unfold it first. We're also going to need to unfold the harvester, so I'll put the pipe out at the back and unfold the grain tank on the top. And once all that's unfolded, we'll press LB and X, lower it down, turn it on, and then drive into the field. And now we're harvesting corn. And with the corn, you don't get straw off the back like you do with wheat, barley and oats, so it is just going to be the crop. So what I'll do, I'll get this field done and I'll see you at the end. Right, so that's the field harvested. So what you want to do now is you're going to want to unload it. So you can either unload it straight into your silo, or you can unload it into a trailer like we've got here. So I'll get it unloaded in this trailer. We'll go see what we can do with it. Right, so the first thing that you can do with your corn is to sell it. So if you go into the prices menu, we've got their corn. So the best price you're going to get is 857 per 1,000 litres. Now that's at Goldcrest Valley, so you're going to need to rent a train. So that's a separate video, so go check it out. But other than that, you can use any of the base game sell points that are on that list. So I've come down to the cereal factory. It's going to give us 720 per 1,000 litres. So all you do is you go down the side to that blue unload icon, and then when you pull over, it will give you the prompt like so, RB and Y, and then you'll unload into that area and then you'll get paid for it. And what you can also do with the cereal factory is you own it, or if you do own it, I'll stick in and buy the production. It's going to cost you 110 grand to buy. And you can put the corn into there, and then if you throw a few other ingredients into the mix, you can then make cereal. Now there is another option, so I'm going to see you back at the farm. Right, so your third option is going to be feed it to your pigs. So if we go into the shop menu in the construction, we'll go to animals, we'll go to pigs. So you can either have the pig pasture, the pigsty, or the pigsty large. So any one of those, your pigs are going to take corn for the feed. So we'll go and we'll unload it into the pigsty. Just down the side, same as the cereal factory, come up to the unload point, RB and Y, and then we'll unload that, and that can be feed for the pigs. So if we go into the animal section now, you'll see at the pigsty we've got the corn going in as the base food, so you're going to want to have about 50% on that in your mix ratio to get the best effectiveness out of your pigs. So that's what you can do with the crop. Now there is one other thing that you can do with it, and I'll show you right now. Right, the last thing that you can do with corn is turn it into silage. Now you're going to want to turn it into silage if you've got cows on the go, because then you can put that in as part of a feed ratio or part of your TMR, your total mixed rations. So what I've gone for here, if we go into the shop menu, I've gone for this setup specifically. I've gone for the forage harvester from Krone, the Big X 1180. I've then gone for the forage harvester header. Scroll along, and we've got the X-Collect 900-3, and I've also gone for this Crone trailer. Scroll along and we'll find it. There we are, the GX520. Now I've gone for this setup because the trailer hooks up to the back of the forage wagon. Now if you haven't got this set up and you are using a forage harvester, sorry, you're going to need to hire a worker to run your forage harvester while you follow alongside with a trailer. So this is why I've gone with this setup. You can do it all on your own. Right, so first things first, you're going to want to unfold the header on the front. So that's going to put out the sides like so, and you're also going to want to unfold the pipe so it'll shoot it all into the trailer. So once that's all unfolded, you're ready to go. So then LB and X, turn it all on, and then just drive into your crop like so. And there you have it. We're turning corn into chaff, which then can be later dumped into a bunker silo and turned into silage. You can feed that to your cows, you can turn it into TMR, and totally up to you. So there you have it. That is corn done for you. Drop it in the comments below which you're thinking of using. Are you going to be using it as a crop like we've done over there? Are you going to be using it for silage like we've just done here? Are you going to sell it off? Are you going to put it in a production chain for the cereals? Are you going to be using it to feed your pigs? Drop it in the comments with which one you're going to be doing. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. It's muchly appreciated. But for me, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.